We are live. Hope you guys are really cool. Merry nearly Christmas. I get over the right shoulder at one point. Hope everyone is having a sensational and magical Monday morning. Just wanted to obviously jump on day 12 of our 30-day Accelerating Your Network Marketing Success free video training. Hope you guys are having a really super cool day. Make sure you are jumping on, saying hi. Be really cool to know who is with me today, and so that we can keep it real, I guess. So welcome to you all. Let me just open on Facebook so I can see the comments and see actually who is on, because as you know, StreamYard doesn't always show me your name. So I'm now ready and live. I hope you are ready and live too. Hey Angelique, hope you are cool. Good morning, Rob. Hope you are super cool. So today is day 12 of our Accelerating Your Network Marketing Success. We're really having a focus on recruitment, and we've got a really exciting week of live kind of 10 to 20 minute little videos. My ambition was always to have kind of little 5 to 10 minute videos, but I think I just get really passionate and excited to share with you. So I really wanted to talk to you today about what I believe, hey Mel, hope you are cool, what I believe to be our single most powerful skill set in order to accelerate our success in network marketing, but also accelerate our success in relationships, in life. And therein lays a clue. The quality of our life is dependent upon the quality of our relationships. Hey, morning, Addison, or afternoon even. Hope you are super cool, having a wicked day. So if you wasn't aware, very quickly, there is still 6 of the Elastic Attitude Expanding Your Potential books available at the Black Friday £10 offer. I think it started with 20. There's 6 available. I think pretty much all of you have got a copy already. So I wanted to talk to you on day 12 about the art of mirroring. And let me give a little bit of context to that, I guess. Human nature is natural to mirror our surroundings in order to feel comfortable. And I've touched on this before, but I want to give you some skills. I want to give you some areas of focus, and I want to give you some things to be aware of and some things to do when you're having recruiting conversations, whether it's face-to-face, on Zoom, on the phone, or via message. It all counts. And actually, you can learn the skill to implement the art and the power of mirroring. Considering this, Andy Robbins was asked about the power of association and how it is the single most contributing factor to somebody's success in any walk of life. And the power of association really does sit as the strategy, I guess, or the foundations of this philosophy is the art of mirroring. We mirror those we spend our time with. It is natural human behavior to mirror our surroundings, to feel comfortable in the environment that we're in, whether we mirror people, family, friends, partners, etc. We naturally mirror to feel comfortable and be liked. Okay, so that's really important. You've heard me talk about being the chameleon. Hey Elise, hope you are super cool. You've heard me talk about being the chameleon in life, and how that is really natural human behavior to mirror our surroundings. And the reason why I wanted to talk about mirroring is because how we feel is how we act. And if we are mirroring our surroundings and we feel comfortable, we feel confident in our surroundings, and you know, we often talk about the comfort zone, and I spoke about that, you know, the importance of the circle of influence, but we'll talk about the comfort zone in particular in the future. But when I say like being comfortable, I don't mean in, you know, in a comfort zone. I mean comfortable in our surroundings, comfortable to be ourselves, comfortable to be confident in conversation, comfortable to be able to be unequivocally us. Okay, so being a natural chameleon, mirroring our surroundings is normal. How we feel is how we act. But here's the fascinating thing. Like, I want to take this into recruitment and how you can utilize the importance and the power of mirroring in your recruitment strategies, be it offline or online. But it's firstly important to understand these 3 percentages of communication. And we often mistake Really, really good. Last day of the month. Happy days. We often can mistake the fact that the words we use are what and how we communicate. But actually, 55% of communication is done through body language. And this is where you can mirror people. I'm going to share some techniques with you to mirror people when you're having a offline or online face-to-face visual conversation. So whether it's, you know, a face-to-face cup of coffee in Starbucks, which is rare nowadays, or whether it's a Zoom call, which is obviously very popular now. So I'm going to talk to you about how you can utilize the importance of body language in creating your conversations and building relationships. Number one reason people join this business is because they join you. So if you can create instant rapport with people through the power of body language before you've even said anything, you're building a relationship, you're making people feel comfortable, confident, because of the art of mirroring, because it's just not influencing you, it's influencing them too, and it creates the whole environment. 38% of what we do is our tonality. We've all heard this common saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So this is really, really important. The tonality you use, the way you say your words in a genuine, authentic way. You know, we often, you know, people can say something in a, you know, a calm, collective way like myself now, or we could say something in a really shouting way. Sorry, I made you jump. I made myself jump. But the same words, depending upon the tonality, can be taken in a completely different way. And this lies in the same, not just in verbal communication, but it also lies with the tonality of your messaging. You've got to be very particular that when you craft a message, you craft it with feeling, you craft it with emojis to try and get an emotion across rather than, you know, just a plain message, because messages can be very much misconstrued 90% of the time. 90% of your messages will be misconstrued because of how we're unable to put a tone onto a message. So how we put a tone on a message is by carefully crafting using the right words, but also using emojis to try and add a bit of tone to it. I hope that makes sense. 7% of our communication is the words we use. How phenomenal and fascinating is that? So body language is really, really important. So I want to talk to you about the art of mirroring, how you do this face-to-face, how you do it on Zoom, how you do it on the phone, and how you do it in Messenger. So we're going to start with face-to-face Zoom, because these are the ones where you get to mirror body language in particular. And then we're going to go into tone and words we use, because the tone and words we use will be relevant for face-to-face, Zoom, phone, and message. But phone and message, very much, and could be text message, voice message, very much the words we use and emojis to gather the tone is really important, because we're unable to mirror body language. But on Zooms and face-to-face, we can mirror body language. So sounds really, really crazy. And I'm sure some of you have done this and maybe even studied this or are aware of this before. If you haven't, I'm just going to teach you some basics. You know, body language is all about, if I'm communicating with somebody on a Zoom, and if they sit back, I'll sit back. If they scratch their chin, I'll scratch my chin. If they do this, I will do this. And I kid you not, you'll be thinking, what do you mean? You're like copying like a monkey see, monkey do. I can guarantee you people will not notice that you're copying them. If somebody does this, within a few seconds, I'll sit and do the same thing. If I'm on Zoom with somebody and they lean forward, I'll lean forward to engage with them as well. These are the arts of body language mirroring. Now, I know it sounds crazy. I've been doing this for donkey's years, and it's not to manipulate people. It's to create a rapport with people. Because when you mirror somebody, the art of mirroring creates an internal feeling, and it makes people feel comfortable in their surroundings. So it's not to manipulate people, but to build a rapport so that they and you both feel comfortable in the environment you're in, so you can be authentically yourselves. So mirroring is the biggest form of duplicating human success and human excellence. But we're taking this down into a body language thing. Now, in my years of doing this, and I mean like when I first learned this back in the early 2000s, in my years of doing this, nobody has noticed. Even the people that I've trained to do this have not noticed me doing it, because it's not something that you pick up unless you're mirroring. I mean, some of my colleagues and friends over the years, you can see we're actually consciously doing it. But actually what you will find is you naturally do this anyway. So you're naturally going to mirror people anyway. What I'm suggesting you do is you just be a little bit more purposeful with it. So it's really important. So you can mirror people. If someone does this, I will do this. So I'm not sure what your body language is right now, but actually, if you you can almost practice copying people. You know, crossing your legs, the way you're standing. And I would tell you a story. I have told it before on a live somewhere. Maybe touched on it in this program because I tend to get a little bit excited and share and cross-share stuff that I'm sharing on future and past videos. Hey Kerry, hope you are super cool, sweetheart. Hey Lisa. So the art of mirroring is really, really important. Mirroring people. If you mirror people on the Zooms, like if you're having a face-to-face Zoom, if you're mirroring somebody having a cup of coffee, and I know it sounds crazy, but if somebody does that, do that. If somebody does this, do it. If somebody scratches their face, do it. If somebody raises their eyebrows, do it. If somebody talks like this, you know, talk like this. Okay, so be conscious. You're going to naturally be doing some of it anyway, but be conscious, because what will happen is you'll create an instant rapport with people, because people will feel comfortable with you. Why do people feel comfortable with you? Like attracts like. People like themselves. People like themselves. The number one thing people like to talk about is themselves. The second thing is the number one word people like to hear is their own name. So this isn't like egotistical when I say this. It's just natural. We feel comfortable because we know ourselves. So talking about ourselves and our adventures actually makes us feel good, and hearing our name spoken makes us feel good. So having them kind of conversations, showing a genuine interest in people, and I'm going to go into things like, I'm going to have to look back what I've done. I think there's a video coming on discovery, link patterns. I know I did first and leaving impressions. I'm probably going to go into a little bit more detail on discovery and what I call link pattern, linking discovery to business. So you go from showing a genuine interest to people to bringing in your business. So we touched on it in first and leaving impressions, but we're going to take it to the next level. Anyway, I go off task yet again. So body language, really, really important. You can operate that on face-to-face conversations on Zooms. Try it, be purposeful, be conscious, be aware. Don't someone picks their nose, don't pick your nose. That's the one thing you mustn't do. But look, jokes aside, if you really, really want to, you can. Not my cup of tea. So then let's kind of move it to phone and message. So firstly, obviously, we're going from body language to tone. 38% of our communication is done in the tonality. So you really need to have a purposeful tonality in your voice. But also, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. So energy, excitement, and expectation for me are massively important. So always be an inch more energetic, an inch more excited than the person you speak to, because if you're too excited, like I can be like really mega excited, I'd probably blow 80% out of the water and think, oh my God, I can't do that. That guy is crazy. So you need to be like just a little bit more. Best of the best, no better than the rest, but a little bit more energy, a little bit more excited than the people you're speaking to or conversing with, so that they hear you. Because we hear in our way. We hear when people talk to us in the words that we use and the tone in which we use. And I'll never lower my standards. Here's the thing: never lower your standards. Never lower your standards, but mirror people in a way. So for the easiest way to say this, if somebody, so I could use kind of lots of different words. Like I might say, like, look, really good to speak to you, buddy. However, if they'd have used the word fella as an example, do you know what, fella, really great to speak to you, I would use their words. Do you see what I mean? So you just need to be conscious of the words your prospective partner is using, so you can use them words too. Why? Because they'll be more receptive to what you're saying. If you're using the words they use, you're speaking to them in their language. Very rarely do people swear. If somebody uses like one of the soft swear words, rarely will I use that back. Maybe occasionally, but rarely. I think the one you probably get me saying a lot is maybe BS, bullshit. Other than that, I don't really probably use that many. So tonality is really, really important. Not what you say, but how you say it. Say things with a bit of energy and a bit of excitement. If you're going to ask somebody a question about them, ask it with a bit of interest. So what is it that you do now? I'd be, my focus would be, hey Kerry, so what is it you're doing now? So a little bit of like a smile. And this is something that I learned many, many years ago. And coincidentally, guess who taught me how to do this? My mum. I remember having my first job interview or telephone conversation regarding a job. So we're going back donkey's years. My mum said, look in the mirror when you're doing it, because it will make you laugh, make you smile at yourself. And then on the phone, you're coming across with a smile. So your whole tone and your whole energy down the phone is completely different to being nervous if you're looking in the mirror, because you can't take yourself seriously. So it adds a bit of positive vibe. So smiling is really, really key. But just notice, like, how are you today? You know, what is it that you do for a living, Kerry? You know, what made you respond? I said, hey, Kerry, so what is it you do at the moment? What is it you're looking for? What made you come to us? So it's like a genuine interest. So the tone that you use is really, really important. The words that we use, look to mirror, never know your standards, but pick up on words. You know, your go-to word might be, I'm fantastic. But if somebody says, yeah, look, that sounds wicked, guess what I will say when I finish the conversation? So, hey, Lisa, have a wicked day. I wouldn't say have a fantastic day, have a wicked day. Why? Because I'm mirroring their words. So the reason I'm sharing this, the art of mirroring, is the number one reason people join this business is because of you. It's nothing to do with the company, nothing to do with the compensation plan. It's how you make people feel. And how we feel is how we act. If somebody feels positive, somebody feels warm with you, then there's a very strong possibility they're going to act and they're going to join you. So I hope this is making sense. The art of mirroring is really, really important. It's natural. We're chameleon-like. When you're going on to messages, so obviously you've got your body language, which you can do face-to-face and on Zooms. You've got your tone and your words. Words you can mirror on text. Tone you can mirror. You know, obviously you can get a level of people's excitement or lack of excitement on the phone. As I said, try to be a little bit more in text messages. Whether it's Facebook or WhatsApp, you've got to be very careful to craft your message and use emojis to try and get a tone across in your message. Okay, it's really, really important, because otherwise 90% of your messages will be misconstrued and people won't pick them up in the manner in which they're meant. And remember, how we make people feel is the reason why they join the business. So show a genuine interest in other people, mirror them, use a tone that's engaging and a little bit more excited than their own, and make sure that where possible you mirror certain words, because it triggers them. If you use the words they use, it triggers them to listen. Here's the thing. And when people are listening, they're learning. And just one more thing about tone and smiling. If you can have a little bit of fun with people by making them smile, or, you know, something fun and positivity. When people are laughing, they're listening. And when people are listening, they're learning. And when people learn and act, they get results. Laughing to listening to learning to acting. Okay, laughing. I'll write that down. That's pretty cool. Laughing. I'm writing this down. Listening. You're going to see this on my Facebook profile later. Learning, acting. So I've just never put. I know I've understood. Just never put it in that way before. So on that note, hope you guys are really, really cool. I talk way too much in voice notes. Hey, look, at least I do a little bit of absolutely everything. Like, I know I've exchanged some voice notes with you, but also sometimes I'll be messaging you just because it's just what we do, isn't it? So, yeah, I think getting a nice mixture. So remember, the art of success. This is the biggest contributing factor to your success in all relationships. Relationships with your team, relationships with your spouse, relationships with your kids, relationships with your friends, relationships with your future team. Everything is based upon communication. And communication is based on three things: body language, tonality, and the words that we use. And if you can implement all of these three things in the power of conversation, you have the opportunity to have a persuasive manner for people to want to be side by side with you as friend, colleague, or leader. Have the most amazing day. Remember, when people are laughing, they're listening. When they're listening, what was it? Laughing, listening, learning, acting. That's the one. Have a great day. Speak to you soon.